Hey guys, how are you guys? Welcome back on another episode of Off the Record podcast here from the youth department. I am Naomi.
I'm Cassandra.
And we're specifically here from our Safe Routes to School program, which we talk. Well, I'm gonna let Miss Cass to do it because I'm a little iffy on it.
So Safe Routes to School is a program that is in collaboration with the City of Lancaster CMBC program. And we, as AVPH, are here to educate the students one-on-one, not one-on-one, but like in school settings. But we're here to do a podcast on 4th of July safety. Miss Naomi?
So, 4th of July, it's super fun. It's super outgoing, just considering that it's the perfect summer, cold nights, you know, you guys are having fun, you guys are hanging out with family, but it's super important for you guys to also remember some of the safety tips and protocols when you guys are around fireworks, as well whenever it comes down to just overall 4th of July. But to break the ice, what is something that you remember from any 4th of July?
So a few memories are like core memories that I have of 4th of July is just spending it with my family and going to like go see the fireworks in the dirt lot and just going in the back of the truck and like just watching them. And then also like just eating a lot of good food.
Yes. I don't know about you guys, but I used to love two memories. One is that my aunt, she used to have a pool that she would rent out, but it was like the in-ground pools, and it was from her brother-in-law. But we would go swim, and then we would watch the fireworks overhead, and we would eat hot dogs, but bacon-wrapped hot dogs. Delicious.
That sounds good right now.
And another thing is that my parents used to take us to Castic Lake to watch the fireworks.
Where's that?
It's a good question. Nah, it's like... Well, we'll put up the directions because I'm not sure. It's like heading towards San Bernardino.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like Lake Arrowhead then?
Yeah.
Around that area?
Close there, yeah.
Oh.
I may be wrong, though. But what are some things that kids should be being mindful of when it comes down to fireworks safety?
So we're going to go through like small segments of like talking about different type of safety. But first of all, we want to talk about fireworks safety to ensure that if you are going to be around fireworks, that you should keep a water bucket around you or like a hose close by to ensure if anything were to catch on fire because they are on fire. And also understand that if your parents not around you, you should not be lighting them up yourself. So children should never handle the fireworks, okay? And keep your distance.
With that added, whenever it comes down to that, also remind yourself of local laws that are within your area. For us, well, I'm living in Palmdale, but because we live next to a desert, they require us to not light any fireworks there, but in neighboring areas, and they have to be within like a certain amount of feet, because if they go too high, they could catch on fire in the desert and cause wildfires, and we don't want that. We're trying to prevent that as much as possible.
Yeah, and keep in mind we are in the desert, so things are dry and catch on fire really, really easily.
One tip for parents, you guys should always, without a doubt, whether you guys are moving into a new home, you guys are living in apartments or anything like that, make sure that you guys carry a fire extinguisher. I mean, even the little small ones, the travel size ones, they go a long way and they make a huge difference.
And with that, ensure that you are in a safe zone if you are watching, okay? So you want to keep your distance, ensure that you're not running around, and you at least keep like 20 feet away from the firework area.
And as much as we enjoy hanging out with the fireworks, we just talked about it. We love the food when it comes down to handling stuff like that. So what are some things that kids should also be mindful of whenever they're around hot foods or hot areas? So, and with that being said about fireworks safety, let's talk about food. I know a lot of our parents or a lot of our family members like to grill, make hamburgers, make hot dogs, or make carne asada. And with that being said, we should also be very mindful whenever that's around. Just because considering that it's a very, very hot grill, and we're trying to prevent any accidents with yourself, with family members, with kids, just overall. And always make sure that if you guys have a dog, cat, a bird, make sure that you guys are also keeping your pets away. And just make sure that you guys always have your eyes on the grill.
Yeah. So also, if keep in mind, I know there's a lot of open food and you just want a snack, but if you do have allergies, make sure that you know what you're eating. Ask your parent that it's safe to do so, and ensure that food is kept in the fridge if it needs to, just to prevent any food poisoning. And with that, in the daytime, it gets really hot. The summer here gets up to over 100, and ensuring that you're keeping yourself hydrated is very, very much key. And drinking, having your water bottle around. If you're running outside with your friends, give yourself a time to have a break if you get really hot. And with that, it's wearing sunscreen. So you want an SPF 30 and plus, because you don't want to get sunburnt. And some people, when they get sunburnt, they peel and it hurts. So make sure you wear sunscreen.
Also, to add to that, I just want to break down a myth. So I was talking to my niece the other day, and she said that she wanted to start tanning. It was like a whole thing. But when I had brought up, okay, well, if you want to tan, you have to put on sunblock and sunscreen. But for her, she didn't comprehend that sunblock and sunscreen, although they're two different things, you can't. She thinks that you cannot use it when you're tanning because that defeats the purpose.
No. It just protects you from not getting sunburned.
Yes, because it's so painful. It's so painful.
Even if you're tanning, you still have to wear sunscreen.
Yes. And then also, make sure that you guys look at the weather. The UV index makes a huge difference. It may say that it's 72 outside, but the index may say that it's 8. And trust me, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then with that being said, also keep in mind that wearing the color black also attracts a lot of heat. And because of that, we want you guys to start wearing light colored clothes, or even lightweight clothes like dry fit and things like that, just because it doesn't feel as heavy or as thick when you guys are going out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And be mindful of heat exhaustion. Sorry for my stutter, but heat exhaustion. Some of the symptoms are, and they have shown, you feel cold even though your body is overheating. So say for example, if Cass is saying, "Oh, I'm cold," and I feel her and her body is literally on fire, that is a symptom. Or you feel thirsty but you're not really thirsty. I don't know, actually, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll put up a picture soon with heat exhaustion and what it means and what it does and things like that, and your symptoms.
Yes. So educate yourself beforehand on heat exhaustion in case you see a friend experience some symptoms of that. So educate yourself, ensure that you're drinking water, give yourself a break, stay in the shade.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but my friends used to hang out at our house a lot growing up, and it was mainly because we all lived on the same block, and all of our parents would line up and help us do fireworks. But with that being said, it's super important for you guys to remember that the street is not a playing ground, okay? You guys should not be running in there. You guys should not still do your routine, look both ways, make sure you guys make eye contact with the drivers, and also have your eyes peeled for distracted drivers. There's a lot of fireworks. A lot of them are beautiful. A lot of them last for a very long time. And sometimes drivers like to just turn over just to get a quick glance. But that quick glance can make a huge difference in whether or not that person's becoming distracted or not. So please be mindful.
Yeah, so this is like stuff that we teach kids for the Safe Routes to School program, and it's all about pedestrian safety and ensuring that you know how to be safe. So if you're going to be riding outside with your bike or a skateboard, ensure you're still making eye contact with that driver and keeping your eyes up. And be cautious with the bikes and scooters and skateboards, because you always have to still wear a helmet, protect yourself, wear knee pads, elbow pads, and ensure that you are protected. And because you want to avoid any type of harm that can happen to you, so ensure that your neighborhood is safe. So you can put cones down, block off that certain area, and ensure that cars know that children are playing.
And with that being said, I don't know how many people live on your street, but also keep in mind that this goes back to what Miss Cassandra said earlier about how kids should not be handling any sort of fireworks when adults aren't around. So make sure that you guys always have an adult around, especially when you guys are playing out not playing out in the street, but playing near a road, because although you may not seen it, your parent or an adult should see, when there's cars coming by, and let you guys know, hey, come to the sidewalk, come over here, and be mindful of driveways.
Mm-hmm. And keep your ears open for any directions that parents might.
Yes.
So avoid having your headphones in, loud music, because you want to hear a car's honking at you. So yeah, keep your ears open. And with that, I know we are always in the pool. If you're in a pool, you want to ensure that you know how to swim. And if you don't know how to swim, wear the right gear. So like a vest, a floaties, being on a floaty, ensure that if you are young, to have your parent around watching you. And yeah, so wear a life jacket.
And also, with that being said, we just have to be mindful, even though you guys are by the pool, by the beach, by a lake, and you're enjoying yourself. Make sure that if you do not know how to swim, an adult has to be with you, or someone who can swim, or if there is a lifeguard on duty, because although there's a lot of fireworks going on, they're very loud, and we want to make sure that you guys are using every precaution available. And when you guys are doing water play, make sure that you guys are are listening to your parents and listening to their boundaries and their protocols. Okay, they're there for your safety.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
and then adding to that, in case you guys were to ever get lost when it comes down to large crowds or even events, make sure that you and your parent talk about a meetup point or a game plan. So if you get lost, you see a police officer, security guard, or someone who's wearing a work uniform who works there, make sure that you are within hindsight and you see them and you're like, hey, I'm lost, and explain to them who your mom is, what's her name, who your dad is, what's their name, whatever adult that is there with you, that you know their name, and they're able to wait there for you. Mm-hmm. And make sure that you guys always, parents, please have your child write down your contact information as your phone number, either on a wristband or have it written down in Sharpie, or just make sure that they memorize it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, as if you're young, if you're still if you're in the crowd, remember what your parents are wearing. So like if you get lost, you can explain what they're wearing and remember their phone number by memory. So be cautious. And lastly is pet safety. So if you have pets around, roaming around, ensure that dogs are scared of fireworks because it's a really loud noise and they don't know what's going on. So ensure that you have like ear covers for your dog, or put them in a very safe space, because I know my dog gets really scared and really anxious. So be mindful about them too. And don't let them roam around freely either, because if they get out, I know we're having our backyards open, our doors constantly open if you have people coming in and out. So just ensure that your dog's not roaming around and gets lost.
And also keep in mind, because I have senior dogs. With that being said, my dogs, they don't hear properly, but they can feel like the ground shake. And so from there, like, it frightens them a lot. And I've learned that if I put them in the room and they physically see me, and I just put on white noise, like super, super high, like, it kind of calms them down a bit. Not 100%, but it does calm them down. There's also some calming gummies that you're able to give your dog and have them, like, kind of just settle out for a little bit in case they become too anxious. But it's just something to be mindful of, because during 4th of July, a lot of dogs and cats, unfortunately, do get lost. And we just want to make sure that you guys are staying safe, as well as your pets. Mm-hmm. Now, thank you guys so much for joining us. But to end it, what is your favorite, like, what do you guys do during 4th of July? What are your plans this upcoming 4th of July?
My plans? Sorry. My plans are just to go to the beach and enjoy the weekend and just have a relaxing weekend. Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing going to the one off of Avenue H, or actually just staying home and watching it, just because we live in that little cul-de-sac. And so I hope there's a little big ones, because my mom comes down from LA and she says she's always sees, like, the super nice extravagant ones from, like, the little community centers that they host. So I was like, oh, those are nice.
Yeah, I know. The fireworks go off in LA, and it's kind of cool to see how much there is. But yeah, just stay safe. Ensure that you remember all these tips that we gave you. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys.
See
you guys soon.
Bye.